back. My first guest tonight just won his 3rd Emmy Award for his role as Dr. Frasier Crane on the hit show Frasier. This Saturday, you can see him hosting Saturday Night Live. Please welcome Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, that's... Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't you just hate that?
I really hate it. Isn't that something, you know? Well, you know, it was years that, you know, people what... I remember the first time I ever showed up at one of these press events, you know, for NBC. It was my first time on Cheers, my first year. And it was getting out of the limo. There's all the paparazzi sitting around. I go, who the hell is that? So... This is different,
you know,
much nicer.
It's good not to forget those times.
Yeah.
You know, because I very clearly remember the first time we went to the Emmy Awards, I walked out of the limo and I'm walking down the thing, and the photographers all started yelling something at me, and I thought that they were saying, we want your picture, we want your picture. And I was blocking one of the 90210 people.
Of course, yeah.
Get out of the way! And now they ask more nicely for me to move.
Yeah,
congratulations, though, on the Emmy. I was curious, because people... That's exciting. That never gets old, right?
No, it doesn't.
Do you get, I mean, even though you've won a lot of these things and you seem to be on a roll, do you get superstitious at all before the awards ceremony?
Yeah. Well, it's a funny thing. It's actually been happening for the last 5 years. I got my first Emmy 5 years ago, and it was the first season of Frasier, and I received from the Magic 8 Ball people, you remember what these things are, the little Magic 8 Balls, the ants would roll up into the little window, and they came out with a speaking one, and they wanted me to have a promotional one. So I thought a couple days before the Emmys, I thought, why not? Let's give it a little shake. And I asked it if I was going to win the Emmy. And it came up and said, my answer is yes. I thought, wow, that's kind of cool, but that's sort of silly. But I won. So I never touched it again until about 2 days before the Emmys the next year. And I said, am I going to win the Emmy? And it said, my answer is, there is no question. And I won. So I thought, wow, this is getting kind of spooky. So the 3rd year, I don't touch it at any other time. The 3rd year, I came up and they said, my answer is, maybe, maybe not. I didn't like my odds on that one. But sure enough, I didn't win. And so the next year came up, same ritual, and it said, my answer is, it is possible, but I do not think so. Sure enough, it was right again. So, but then, about 3 weeks before this time, because I was a little bit nervous about it, I thought, you know, gee, I'd really like to win one again, and it had been a couple of years, and I was starting to feel like a has-been. And, because, you know,
because you only had 4 at that point
or
something.
We're very tortured people, you know. Yeah. Camille and I were both sitting in my daughter's bedroom, and I grabbed it. By the way, the batteries have never been changed on this thing, so it's a little like, you know, the movie Big. It only really works when there's no power going into it. And
does it speak more slowly now? Sort of like it's stupid?
Sometimes you got to shake it real hard to get anything going. But I gave it one shake, and it came out in an authoritative way and said, my answer is, without a doubt. And I won. So the 8 Ball is 100%.
Could I borrow this thing?
I think maybe.
I have some big questions to ask it. What I do, because I have one of those ones around once. We have one in the office. Right. Whenever I get an answer I don't like, I just try again until I get the answer I want.
That's the thing. You can't contaminate the ball, you see. If you contaminate the ball with, you know, you got to go with the first answer out the shot, you know, out the chute.
What I did is I broke it open and I glued the right answer to the window. And now I always get yes, so I'm happy. This season, your character Frasier is unemployed or facing unemployment. Have you yourself experienced that? Have you been fired before?
I was actually, you know what? I think I was fired a few times in my life. The most notable time was actually, well, really, I quit. You see, that's what most people say. They didn't fire me. I quit, but I was working for the Magic Pan. Now, you all know what the Magic Pan is. I don't know how well they're doing anymore, so they might be a sort of a has-been thing. But
They'll appreciate the plug, though.
Oh, yes. They sure will. Yeah, you got to run right down.
Are they still around, or
didn't
they get closed for... they're a crepe restaurant.
They were a crepe restaurant where they'd hang the little crepe pans in front of you, and they'd spin them around and sort of dip it in the thing and then put it over there. Anyway, I had gotten a job on a soap. I was a busboy, for God's sake. Anyway, I'd gotten a job on a soap opera doing an under 5, which was, of course, more money in a day than I'd make in 3 weeks there. And I went to the manager and I said, "Listen, I've got this soap opera job, and I've got to, you know, do this instead tomorrow." And he said, "Well, you're responsible for your shifts. You got to fill it." And I said, "Well, okay, I'll try. Give me some numbers." And so I got the numbers of the other busboys, and of course they weren't willing to help me out. And so I called them and I said, "Look, I'm not going to be able to come in. I'm really sorry about it, but I can't come in. I hope you understand." And he said, "Okay, fine, fine." So I did my under 5, and then I went to the Magic Pan the next day, the following day, and there's a very cold feeling in the restaurant as I walk in. All the other workers are sort of, you know, turning their backs as I head toward my little locker, and I thought, oh, something's up. And they call me into the assistant manager's office, and there's 2 of them sitting in there, the manager and the assistant manager. And they look at me with very long faces and say, "Kelsey, you should have filled your shift." And I said, I spoke to you. I told you I couldn't. And I said, "Look, would this be a problem if I just called in sick?" And they said, "No, wouldn't be a problem at all." So, well, this is really weird. I mean, I was honest with you, and I'm in a little bit of trouble here. And if I'd called in sick and lied, then I wouldn't be in any trouble. And they said, "Well, I guess so, yeah, it's just one of those things." And then they looked at me and said, "Well, Kelsey, you know, we're afraid that you're not Magic Pan family material."
Pretty damning statement.
I thought, you know, I looked at them for a minute and I thought, I've never heard more malarkey in my life. And I said, "Fellas," I forget their names at this point. I said, "You know what, I'm really sorry, but I know for a fact that I am not Magic Pan family material."
I'm a lot of things, but I'm definitely not.
I'll see you all later, yeah, so.
You know, we found, we were doing some research on you today, and we found this, we found a picture of you as a teenager, and I was shocked at how long your hair was. You had really,
pretty long for a while, yeah, when I was younger. Of course, it was more of it as well.
Well, let's go, just put up the picture, because this kind of blew me away. It was just like, you look very happy there.
You know, yeah. That was when I was 16. Yeah,
you look like you're listening to some good acid rock there.
Well, you know, actually, I was a big Beatle fan back then. Leon Russell, I'm trying to think who else. Led Zeppelin, of course. I mean, they were great back then. But I was a surfer then, and mostly I just grew my hair and went swimming in the ocean. So that was pretty much all I did.
Growing your hair is not an occupation.
Well, for me,
what are you doing today? You're going to grow some hair.
I'm working on some hair.
When that counts, you know that it's a thin resume.
It did count.
Yeah. It says here that you're not Magic Pan material, but your skills, you can grow hair. Yeah. You know, what's interesting about the fact that you've been playing Frasier now, and I always forget, stupidly, that that you were doing the character all those years as well on Cheers.
Right.
So the time really adds up.
It's 15 years.
15 years, and you're going for the record, I think, for any character on television.
Well, I guess I am, yeah.
Is James Arness, I believe.
That's 20 years, yeah.
James Arness played Matt Dillon, Sheriff Matt Dillon on Gunsmoke for 20 years.
Right.
And you've been doing...
Frasier for 15. This is my 15th year as Frasier, yeah.
We actually looked up the people who have been around for a long time.
Longevity on television?
Longevity on television, and there's some tough people to beat. Well, actually, you're in good company, because you beat some of these people already. Archie Bunker, that character was around for 12 and a half years.
Okay.
Sheriff Andy Taylor, 8 years.
Yeah, I nailed him.
Yeah. We'll leave that alone.
Okay. Hey, cut it out. Not that name. When you said you looked into my past, I thought, uh-oh, he's on to me.
No, this is pretty good company, though. Bookman from Good Times, 9 years. That's
something.
That's pretty good. And, of course, Shaggy, 17 years. That's the record.
Shaggy's got me.
So your work's cut out for you.
I got a couple to go, yeah. We'll see what happens. Right now I've committed to doing 4 more years of the show. So that'll take it up to 19 years.
Right.
No, 18 years, because this includes this year. So, yeah. 18. Right, we'll see what happens.
And then you can hold out for the big money.
Oh, finally. Yeah, well, really
they
just laugh at me when I ask for that.
Really put the screws to them for those last two. Frasier, of course, Thursdays at 9 on NBC, and you're hosting Saturday Night Live this week with special guest Shaquille O'Neal and musical guest Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one.
She sounded great today. She's really terrific.
Is Shaq going to be singing? Is he going to be rapping?
Shaq may be singing. I don't know if he's going to be rapping, though. I mean, this could be at the beginning of a legit voice career. Who knows?
All right, he's going to do an old Dolly Parton standard.
I think he might.
I'm looking forward to that. Kelsey Grammer, thank you very much for coming by. Thanks a lot. Tony Collette coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.